say the bomber was wearing a suicide belt and blew himself up outside the Virgin Mary Greek Orthodox Church.
Human rights groups have condemned a video posted on the internet which appears to show Syrian rebels executing captured government soldiers. Amnesty International and the United Nations say that if the killings are confirmed, they constitute a war crime.
Order has released a statement in which it says that they can only pray that this folly ends and that no more weapons are sent to Syria to prolong this absurd civil war.
The Greek Orthodox Church said they hadn't received proof of their release and that the two prelates spent the night being held against their will. During the general audience, Pope Francis issued a call to peace in Syria, where the armed conflict has had devastating consequences for the entire population.
Il rapimento dei metropoliti greco-ortodosso e sirio-ortodosso di Aleppo.
A completely unstable opposition, which would have no credibility whatsoever if it were not given bases in Turkey and enormous support, funding, and political support from the U.S.
Greetings, Greek diaspora. We are the demones of collective Hellenism. It has come to our attention that the mainstream voices of our diaspora are turning a blind eye to the suffering of our brethren in Syria. This is unacceptable. Since the uprising started, Hellenism in Syria has found itself in a very uneasy position. Seen by Greece and our diaspora as simply Greek Orthodox Arabs, these ethnic Greek Christians are left under the absolute control of the Patriarch of Antioch, a patriarch whose answer to the conflict has been one of silence and neutrality. Silence and neutrality as young girls are raped. Silence and neutrality as entire families are decapitated and butchered like mere sheep. Silence and neutrality. What started as a movement for reform has transformed into a proxy war, making the innocent Syrian people pawns to be used by competing foreign interests. Targeted by the Mujahideen within the Syrian opposition, Greek Orthodox Christians are seen as sympathizers of the Assad government and marked for death. As the conflict escalates, one thing is imminent: the end of Baathism. But this fate doesn't have to be shared by Syria's ethno-religious minorities. Dear brothers and sisters, now is the time for action. We, the Demones, launch Operation Antioch, a global campaign to embrace all Antiochian Greeks as our ethnic brethren and prevent their slaughter. We ask the diaspora, why have these self-identifying Rum not been embraced as ethnic Greeks, while Turkish-speaking Rum from Anatolia were? Why were the Karamalidikes embraced and the Antiochians not? Will we stand by as our brethren are led to the slaughterhouse, or will we look back at history, learn from the mistakes of the Magali Catastrophe, and act? Let us embrace the Antiochians, lend a voice, and call for an immediate ceasefire so that humanitarian assistance can freely reach all victims of the bloodshed. And so we ask the American Hellenic Institute, join Operation Antioch for what better an issue than one that affects Greeks and the very rule of law which you advocate. We ask AHEPA, join Operation Antioch, mobilize your AHEPA network, and urge the Hellenic Caucus to stop funding the very people who mean to exterminate our brethren. We ask the Hellenic American Leadership Council, join Operation Antioch, awaken the youth of Greek America, and take a stand for justice and Hellenism. We ask all Greek Americans, join us, look inside yourselves and ask, would you have remained silent during the Ottoman Greek genocide? We are the Demones of collective Hellenism. We are Dikeos and Dikia. We honor our ancestors. We honor our traditions. We are Élinis. Respect us.